Steve, when it comes to Steph's ejection, did you feel like the punishment fit the crime there, or is that a moment where Steph has to know better than to throw the mouthpiece?
I didn't see what happened at the time. So, when the ref called it, I was confused. And then the coach told me he threw the mouthpiece down out of anger. And I guess he throw it into the stands on the side. Yeah. Yeah. So, I think that's automatic ejection. So he knows he can't make that mistake again. But I was really proud of the guys that they fought through and executed down the stretch.
What moment? Harrowing. It's a big word, I know. Talk about how he executed down the stretch. The out of bounds play looked like a really good cut, good finish, and it was a big moment for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think JP has been much more solid the last 5-6 games. He had a stretch there where he was trying so hard to make plays, and he was making a lot of turnovers, taking a lot of bad shots, and I think he's been much better, just shot selection, decision making. Doesn't mean he's going to be perfect, but I think he had 3 turnovers early in the game and didn't have any the rest of the game. Thought he fought really hard defensively, battled out there. So I thought he played a great game.
Steve, what did you like most about the way this game finished? I mean, not just technically, but in terms of just the emotions that were there.
Yeah, I mean, to win the game after the Steph ejection was great. I liked the execution down the stretch. I thought we got good looks on offense, and defensively we did what we needed to do. They scored the 2 with 6 seconds left to tie it, but we didn't leave the 3-point line, which was a priority. And so we made them execute, and Ja made a great pass. I think it was Clark who got the dunk. But I just thought we battled, and as poor as our execution was in the first half and as scattered as we were, it just looked like we settled down better down the stretch and made better decisions.
And what was your reaction when you saw Jordan fire up that 30-footer with the full shot clock?
With Steph Curry open next to him? It's all right. We won, Monty. Let's focus on the positives.
You went like hyper small with like 5 minutes left, 4 guards and Draymond, and then go on a 14-3 run. Why did you make the choice to go that small? And how big within that was Jaren Jackson's ejection?
Yeah, I mean, we had a little stretch there where we were not getting anything offensively. I think we had both bigs out there with Loon and Draymond, and our defense is obviously better with those guys out there. But Memphis really makes it tough on us spacing wise because of the way they guard us and just their size and physicality. So we went small to try to create some space and open up the game a little bit more. Dante was playing well. He was doing a good job on him. So we just decided to throw that lineup out there. And yeah, and I thought Jaren Jackson's 6th foul was a big moment in the game. It allowed us to play smaller for a longer stretch.
You mentioned the defensive execution down the stretch in the third, though you guys allowed them to score 42. So, and then just 24 in the fourth. So what was, I guess, like the big shift in the third quarter and then changing that into the fourth?
I just thought we showed a lot of grit and toughness in the fourth. I thought Steph found his groove a little bit. And when he finds that, it gives our team confidence. We play better at both ends. And, the third quarter was tough. They got going downhill at us. They had a ton of free throws, 37 for the game. So that was a tough stretch, but every time we play these guys, the game's back and forth, and there's a lot of runs in both directions. So we were confident we could come back and win.
Another tremendous scoring night for Jonathan Kuminga. Steve, 13 points on 5 of 6. What have you liked about his game since he returned from injury?
I liked JK's aggressiveness, obviously his athleticism and strength. He gives us a dynamic that we don't otherwise have, getting to the rim and finishing and he knocked down a 3 as well. I mean, he's just, he's competing and he's learning and he's growing and this is all part of it. There's ups and downs, but you can see the arrow is trending upward with JK. He's doing a great job.
Steve, 21 turnovers. I know I'm still trying to keep it positive, but 21 turnovers. Since you have such a veteran, group of guys, when you go into the next practice, do you have a conversation about it? Obviously, they know they're not trying to do that, but is there anything that you focus on, or do you just say, we just got to be better?
Yeah, I mean, execution. We show film and we show some of the lack of execution and why we're making turnovers, and then usually we just make them again the next game. And then we show more film, and that repeats itself.
Steve, it feels like it was a conscious effort to take better threes. I think you were like maybe 40% of your shots were threes instead of like 60. Was that a game plan or an adjustment by the offense?
No, I mean, we don't ever go into a game, deciding how many threes we're going to take or what we always preach good shots. We talk about good to great, trying to get better shots. And, one of the reasons I decided to make the lineup change was to create a little more spacing, which in theory should allow us to get better shots. And if that's the case, then we should have a better balance of shot selection. I like the mid-range stuff for Clay, Steph, Jordan. Those guys are great shooters. And if that's the shot that's open and available, I know they can make that shot, and that gives them confidence and rhythm. And so I'm not, I'm not so analytically driven that, that I discourage mid-range shots. I actually encourage them from our great shooters.
Steve, do you enjoy drawing up your ATOs? Seems like you've had a lot of success on those and over the years historically as well.
Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It's a fun part of coaching. I think from when I started coaching till now, I think the coaches around the league have gotten better and better, more and more creative. There's a lot of guys doing really interesting stuff out there, and then we all steal from each other. Everybody's watching tape all the time, and you watch a different game, maybe league pass at night, and you stop the game and you go, I want to watch that again, and maybe you put that in for your own team. And it's kind of how the league works. But I think some nights they click and some nights they don't, and that's part of being a coach. Just like as a player, you feel like you have some good nights and some bad nights, and there's a lot of ups and downs in this job for sure. That game winner design. So Draymond called the play, and we hadn't practiced it in a couple of months, and so it was a little ambitious, but it wasn't exactly as we normally draw it up because we hadn't practiced in a while. But I think in this case, it may have benefited us because it was a little scattered, and sometimes out of bounds underneath. Some coaches will just run guys in a circle, and then just cut everywhere. I've seen coaches do that. It was a little more organized than that, but I think in some ways we were a little scattered, and Jordan just made a great back cut.
How often is it Draymond or another player calling a play like on the fly versus you?
Well, he suggested it, and I loved it. We had enough guys out there who knew the play where we could sort through it. And there's a couple of good options out of it, and you hope that something works. But I think mainly Jordan made a great back cut, and Dante made a hell of a pass. Great. Thank you.